Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Logic's passing. A mourning over the loss of common sense by Dion Jackson. It's not really me. It's you. It's always been you. All the lies and all the stupid things we say and do that we can't always make amends for. The missing element that clicks during times of uncertainty, haziness, and impurity. I know now that it was you. I'm saddened with this revelation. Knowing it now instead of being aware of it at the very beginning like I should have been. And I was stupid for having not realized this. The lack of your presence has begun to have an effect on this planet, and not in a constructive way by any means. The absence of existence, absent-mindedness thereof, has begun spreading across the land like a plague itself, infecting many people and robbing them of an otherwise better and more prudent assessment of circumstance. I guess it's just another necessary loss in the circle of life we live in on this planet, or another step in the world we live in. A necessary loss, but for what cause? Today, like before, we just mourn the loss of a beloved old friend who's been with us for many years. No one knows for sure how long he's been around, since he's been here long ago, lost in red tape. But he will be remembered for having cultivated such valuable lessons. Life isn't always fair, and maybe it was always my fault. But you always know when and how to do what. The outline of common sense lived by a simple, sound financial policy. Don't spend more than you earn. His health began to deteriorate rapidly when we intended, or rather, when well-intentioned but overbearing regulations were set in place. Reports of a 6-year-old boy charged with assault for kissing a classmate. Teens suspended from school for using mouthwash after lunch. A teacher fired for reprimanding an unruly student only worsened his condition. Common sense lost ground when many parents attacked teachers for doing the jobs they themselves failed to do in disciplining their own children. And it declined even further when schools were required to get and assess parental consent to administer aspirin, sun lotion, or even a band-aid to a student, but could not merely inform said parent when a student became pregnant and wanted to have an abortion. Common sense lost the will to live as the 10 Commandments became contraband, and churches became businesses, and criminals received better treatments than their victims. Common sense took a beating when you couldn't defend yourself from a burglar in your own home, and then the burglar can easily sue you for assault. Common sense finally gave up the will to live after a woman failed to realize that a steaming cup of coffee was hot. She spilled it in her own lap and was awarded a huge settlement of over $150,000. With the will to live gone, he was preceded in death by discretion, responsibility, and reason. However, not many attended his funeral or even knew that he was dead, because even fewer had realized that he was gone. Food for thought. Poetry, peace, conclusion.